Hello everyone, welcome to KK4Z. My name is Scott, and today finally I'm going out for a little POTA adventure and to practice my EmComm along with my FunComm. Today I'll be going to Florence Marina State Park, which is a nice little park down south of here. It's hot and humid. I'm glad my air conditioning works in my little camper. That's probably where I'll spend most of my time. Anyhow, the radio today is going to be my K3, and I'll do more about that once I get set up down there. But I haven't used that radio in a while, and I felt like it needed some love. But anyhow, yeah, this is like I said, I do POTA because it's fun, but also too because I can practice my EmComm. I take the same radios that I take to a POTA activation are the same radios I would take if I actually had to deploy to a disaster like a hurricane. And this is August 9th, and the hurricane season really for us is just now starting to ramp up. The end of August, beginning of September is typically the big, where we see the most hurricanes. So we're getting ready. So I get to do a shakedown of my equipment, have a little fun, get away for a little while, relax, and then enjoy it. And I'll talk to you more later on. Hello everyone, welcome back to KK4Z. My name is Scott, and I am at the Florence Marina State Park. It actually is a marina. I think a lot of people come down here to fish. I have a nice campsite close to the comfort station, the way I like it. And it is super hot and super humid, and I am just about finished setting up. I got here about a little after 2, and it's now right around 3, a little after 3, and I'm ready to operate. It takes me less than an hour from the time I hit the welcome station, the guest check-in, to operating. So I wanted to show you the outside setup, and then I'll show you the inside setup. I'll letting my camper cool down a little bit before I show you the inside, because I can't run the air conditioner and talk to you at the same time. The antenna is my standard 28.5 foot random wire antenna. And I got a spot where I'm clear of all the trees. I have a 9-to-1 on-in and a 1-to-1 current balun. And then this green wire here is the counterpoise. I have one counterpoise, and it's about 17 foot long. This is a non-resident antenna, but because it is non-resident, it actually tunes on most bands. I can get pretty much anywhere from 80 to 6 meters, and sometimes 160 depending on what's around me, but that's really, really flaky. What's going to be new today is I've changed my GPS for the time sync. I was using this dongle, but it plugs into the side of the computer, so when it's inside it doesn't always get a good signal. So I'm trying this one. This is aluminum, but this is a magnetic base, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it. Hopefully I won't make you too dizzy. This piece right here is steel. It's for my awning, so I'm going to put it on top of there, and then I will run it down in through here and then attach it to my computer. I'll see how it does. But that's my setup. This is about a third of the way through August, and we are now getting into prime hurricane season. The majority of hurricanes are kind of centered around September 1st. If you ever look at some of those graphs I have, they peak right around September 1st. And so this is kind of like a shakedown cruise. Besides doing POTA stuff, I will check all my other digital modes and make sure they work with this setup. If I have to deploy somewhere, if I have to go somewhere, this is what I will take, and these are the radios I will take with me. I don't have separate radios for separate things. I kind of use everything for everything. I've been using this antenna for, I guess almost 2 years now, or some variant of it. And I understand it pretty well. I know what it can do and what it can't do because I've made thousands of contacts with it. It's the same thing with my radios, this whole rig. I know what it can do because I've made thousands of contacts, and that's the way you get to know your stuff. So anyhow, I'm gonna finish hooking up the GPS and I'll get set up inside, and then we'll do an inside tour. But like I said, I have to turn the air conditioning off, otherwise you won't be able to hear me speak. I'll talk to you in a bit. All right, everyone, this is KK4Z Scott. I am inside the so-called shack. I have turned off the air conditioning, but just for a minute because it's already getting hot. Today, I brought my Elecraft K3 with me. I wanted to bring it out. I haven't used it in a while. But this is the setup I'm currently using. It's a table I have at the back end of my camper. I'm actually sitting on the bed. This is the end of the bed right here. As you can see, I always bring a manual with me, and I had to get into it a little bit this time. But that's it. I am sitting on my bed, and I'm using a lap desk to put my computer on. I currently am checking through my different apps I use for digital communication. This is WinLink. I got into it. I got into a station on 20 meters in Texas. Bands are not in very good condition, but I got over 200 words a minute with the connection, so that was actually pretty good. So now I know that my K3 works with my computer and works with WinLink, and probably if it works with WinLink, it'll work with the other apps I have, and I'm going to kind of go through those as the day goes on, plus run a little FT8 for a POTA activation. But it's really important to take your stuff out and use it. The new GPS dongle that I have on top of my roof, if you look right there, you can see the cable going up. It worked really well. It went on as soon as I opened up my BK time app. It synchronized everything, so that works. But if you guys are doing EmComm, and if you think you may have to deploy to a disaster, take yourself camping. Do what I do. Get out here and try your stuff and make sure it works. Right now, I don't have cell service, so I had to get my propagation updates via the radio, and I did it here. And what I had to do is, since I didn't have an updated list from this location, I had to find a station that I can connect with, and then this app sends an email, and then I get the propagation report back, and then it updates my propagation from there. So you can do it without having an internet connection. I do not have cell service here, so I am SOL, so to speak. I am connected to the world right now via WinLink, and I also have a little sat thing from Garmin, a messenger that I can send things that way. But other than that, this is kind of like on my own. I am on mains power. However, I do know that my 2 generators at home will power this camper, to include the air conditioner and the microwave. And so that works. All that works. But I just wanted to share with you that get out there, take your stuff out, and make sure it works. I had to fiddle with my radio a little bit. I believe this is probably the first time I've used digital with this radio, and I had to get into the manual a little bit, but now I know it works. So that if I'm in the middle of a disaster somewhere in Florida where the nearest electricity is 60, 100 miles away, I know my stuff will work. Anyhow, that's it for now. I'll check in later as I go through my other apps, but right now, I can check off WinLink. We'll talk to you later. Good morning, everyone. It's Saturday morning. Didn't stay up too late last night. I think I was in bed before midnight. The band conditions were just not good. Anybody, anywhere. I tried to check into 2 EmComm nets. The first one, which is on 40 meters, I could barely hear. The net control was copying maybe 60 or 70%. I tried to check in, not sure I did. Could never see when they called, when they posted the roll call. So Don't know. The second net I couldn't even hear. It was on 80 meters. It was just dead. And I only made less than 40 contacts last night, which is very unusual. Typically, when band conditions are pretty good, I can get between 100 and 200 on my first night. But tonight, not so much. Of course, some of the times I was mucking with radios. An interesting thing I found out is I came down here with WinLink, and I didn't update the propagation for all the stations, and so I was only able to hook up to a WinLink station once yesterday, and that was during the late afternoon. I believe it was on 20 meters. And last night I tried for about 45 minutes and couldn't hook up with anybody. So that's unusual for WinLink. I'm going to try again this morning. Maybe bands will be a little bit better. We shall see. All right, that's just a quick update. So far, everything is working good. K3 is running like a champ, and all my software is working. So I'm going to try and see if I can make another WinLink contact today, and maybe do a little VAR AC stuff, and then FT8. I don't think I'm going to do CW because the bands are so bad. But we'll keep you posted. We'll talk to you later. All right, you're looking at a hot and sweaty KK4Z Scott. I decided to go home a little bit early. The band conditions were just horrible. I mean, you know, normally by this time of day on a normal weekend, I am in the neighborhood of like 400 contacts, 300, 400 or more contacts. I mean, usually on a weekend, if I stay till Sunday morning, I make between 400 and 600 contacts total. I quit today at about like 165. That's how bad it is. It's just not good. So I just decided I'm just going to go home and enjoy the evening with my family. But anyhow, thank you all for coming along for the ride. A lot of good learning experiences. I did test all my software in a portable / mobile type situation. FL Digi, check. FL Message, FL Amp, check. FL Rig, check. Vara AC, check. WinLink, check. All works. So, you know, it's hurricane season's, you know, the peak hurricane season of the season is about 2 weeks away. And it's always good to break out your gear and just make sure everything works. Make sure some update didn't screw your process up, or lack of an update screw your process up, one of the two. But anyhow, it was still a good weekend. It's just time to go home. All right, we'll talk to you next time. This is KK4Z Clear.